Hi, I'm Dodie. I'm going to show you how to make beeswax food wraps a little bit differently than normal, but this is my favorite method as opposed to the iron method or the oven method. So what we're going to use is a heat mat that is actually intended for use as a food warmer. And then we're going to use a crock pot, and I'm going to show you all my supplies and all the ingredients. So we're going to start with beeswax in the pellet form, and it doesn't matter if they're white or if they're the yellow. They're called pellets or pastilles. And then pine rosin, and I prefer to use a smaller pebble-sized form because it melts faster. It's easier for smaller batches like at home. You could buy bigger pine rosin chunks. But I would prefer to use this for a bigger batch. You can use them, there's no problem with it. It's just a slower melt. The other ingredient that we're going to use is jojoba oil, and it really doesn't matter which one you choose. All of them are good, pretty much. So just grab whichever one you like. All the ingredients I do show you, I will list below for you to be able to link to if you like to. And then you're going to need some thin cotton fabric. I chose this one here. They're pre-cut, and it is a thin cotton fabric. You don't want polyester or any other kind of material in there. It's got to be 100% cotton for this to work properly. These are 10 by 10 squares. I just bought them like this on Amazon. I love that I don't have to cut them, but you can cut them yourself, of course. And then we've got a crock pot. Any crock pot is going to be fine for it. You want to be able to have it on a high setting when you use it, so make sure you have a high setting on yours. I got mine at Goodwill for like $6 because I'm just using it exclusively for beeswax wraps. And then also, I prefer to use this method of rolling onto the fabric because you can control the amount that you put on and spread it out nice and evenly. And it works especially good with this method. I'm just using a half sheet bun pan. It's aluminum, super cheap. And then also, this is a food warmer. There's different sizes that you can get. This one goes up to 212 degrees. I set it on the highest setting because what we're going to be doing is putting the fabric on here and then rolling this on. And then instead of taking that tray and putting it into the oven, we can just take the fabric right off, dry it out, and we're done. So we're skipping a few steps there. All right, so let's get started. I've begun melting the beeswax in the crock pot already. And once it has completely melted, and I do that first, I put the beeswax, found this is an easier way. I put the beeswax in and melt it first, and then I'll add the pine rosin. And then once that's all melted and good and everything stirred and nicely mixed together, then I'll add the oil in. So while the beeswax is melting in here, I will give it a good stir when it's close to the end, and that will help that beeswax to melt quickly towards the end there. And then we're ready to put in the pine rosin. I like to use the pine rosin from Bees Goods. That is my company. And I get the pebbles and powder version. It's really mostly pebbles, like that I showed you on the table there. They come in 3 different sizes. This is our 8 ounce, this is our 1 pound, and then we also have a larger version. All right, so now we're going to measure that into our measuring cup. And by the way, I'm going to add the recipe above so you can grab that. I've taken so many years of putting together a recipe that will work, and so you're welcome. All right, let's measure that. This bag is almost perfect for this batch. You have a little bit left over. Now we're going to stir this in, and I'm not stirring it in. I'm just going to let it sit here and melt. This is not the time you want to stir it. So a little bit about pine rosin. It's actually taken from the sap of a pine tree, and the terpenes have been removed in order to come up with the straight rosin. Is it bad for your health? And the answer to that is most of the time, no. If you're allergic to pine, then I would say probably not a good option for you to be around. It does tend to have a little bit of a powdering to it. I think when you saw me pour it in, you saw a little bit of the powder as I poured it in. Inhaling that is not a big deal unless you're inhaling massive amounts. It's really fine. Your body will process it out. Um, but if you do have an allergy to pine, that's a big no. Other than that, it's just going to help with the tackiness on the fabric so that when you use it, it sticks. So the beeswax is to help seal the fabric, and the pine rosin is to help make it tacky. And then the oil just is good for making it more pliable. You can keep the lid on your crock pot until that pine rosin is mostly melted, and then when you start seeing there are no more crystalline chunks and it's more of kind of a swirl of kind of gooiness, then you can start stirring it, and then it'll be really close to be able to put the oil in. Okay, it looks like it's getting close. It's definitely very soft, and that's what you want. And at this point, you can begin stirring it. It is a bit of a process, time-wise, before that pine rosin melts, and stirring a little bit to incorporate it. But you can keep stirring until it's incorporated, or let it melt a little bit longer. It really doesn't matter here, as long as it's to the point where it's easily stirrable. You're fine to keep stirring it. The more you stir it, the more it's going to incorporate and melt. But it's best if it's too clumpy still, I don't recommend stirring it like this. And you want it to be soupy. Once it's in this completely incorporated soupy state with no clumps falling off or goo dripping off my spoon, it is ready. Now we can add in the jojoba oil. So for this recipe, we're using a 1/4 cup. You're going to want to stir this in while you pour it in kind of slowly. That's perfect. At this point, if you want, you can go ahead and lower your crock pot down to the low setting. I wouldn't put it down on warm. Just you want it still hot, but it doesn't have to be on the highest setting at this point. So now we're ready to move on to spreading it on the fabric. My favorite part. So you want to get this good and saturated, the roller. So you're going to roll it in here quite a bit till it's good and saturated. Okay, then just leave that roller right in there. First fabric, you're going to set on your sheet. Okay, so now we're going to just take it and spread it on evenly. But I don't want excess on there, so I do kind of spread it around. And you're just going to take it and set it on. I'm setting it on the edge of a chair to let it dry, and it only takes a few seconds for it to dry, and then you can move on to the next one. And just keep going on to the next one. Sometimes you'll have a bit of the mixture in the pan, so you don't have to redip. As long as I'm getting that fabric good and saturated, and I don't mean in terms of a whole lot of mixture in the fabric. You just want it to be able to be all the way through it. So I give it a few swipes back and forth until I feel confident that it's really in there. And this is how it looks, like that. Then I'm going to let it dry and remove this, and now it's ready. So not long, maybe 10 seconds. Such a fun process and so easy. I just love this way because now you've got basically your oven and your spreading all in one done. So yeah, that's it. That's how you do it. Pretty easy.